Hey Frontline fans, welcome back to Comic Frontline fans. You're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do Spider Slayer's Haul episode number 24. One away from the 25th milestone episode. Sorry I didn't have a Spider Slayer's Pay It or Slay It this week. It was due to the Labor Day holiday weekend. Set me a little bit behind, had a lot of stuff going on, but I promise next week we will have episode 3 up. So, with that being said, guys, this is the video series, if you're not familiar with it, where I show you all the comics that I picked up for the week. Now, there is a kind of a funny theme to this haul this week, so stay tuned, watch it through its entirety, and there's a certain book that I have to point out something to you. So, alright, here we go. So, first things first, Mysterious Black Bag of Comics. What's inside this week? Well, I can honestly say I'm hoping for some good comics this week because last week we had no DC Rebirth, and Marvel's a lost cause at this point besides the actual Civil War story. So, let's see what we got. Alright, so the bag comes off, bag's on the floor. Here we go, guys. Alright, so first things first, we wound up getting a bright side of things for Marvel, and this has nothing to do with Civil War, and it's Spidey issue number 10. I love this series. I love how true to the character it really is. In this issue, we have classic Captain America, not no Nazi Captain America, throwing the shield at Spidey. Why are they doing battle? We're not sure yet, but I'm sure we'll find out. And this is Spidey issue number 10. Really fun series to read. Alright, next from Marvel, ooh, I got 2 Marvel books, is Avengers, All New, All Different Avengers issue number 14. This series has just been a hodgepodge of miscellaneous throwaway stories. For me, there seems like there's no real story progression, no real character development. But in this issue, we get the story of the all-new Wasp. And just by flipping through it, I think she interacts with Janet in this book. So this one caught my interest. So I had to sit here and say, okay, if this new Wasp character is going to be in the Marvel Universe, I guess I should know more about her. And I just sat there and preached about character development. So hopefully this fleshes out the character a little bit more. So this is Avengers, All New, All Different Avengers, issue number 14. By the way, that's ending to come out with another Avengers book. So we'll see where that goes. All right. Next comes the all lackluster Invincible Iron Man issue number 13. I have not read this issue or this book in like 3 issues, and yet I still keep buying it. I kind of tell myself, okay, you're gonna, catch up on it. And I never do. I think I just kind of skim through the issue to have an idea of what's going on, but haven't been a real fan of it. I'm just looking forward to seeing, not really looking forward to it. Well, let me take that back. I am looking forward to it ending, and interested to see how the new series starts off with the girl. So we'll see where that one goes. So there's your Marvel books. That's all I got. 3 Marvel books. Just Marvel has just not been hitting it for me, man. This has been the weakest year ever for Marvel Comics. Alright, so now we're going to get into DC Comics. DC Rebirth. This is where everyone's enjoying their comic reading these days. So, first things first is we get the new number 1 this week, and that goes to Supergirl issue number 1. Like the cover. I think it's cute. I like the artwork. The facial expressions are cool in the issue. When you open it up, here's an interesting looking page there. So the facial expressions look very exaggerative, but I like that. I think it's different, It gives the characters some character. So that's what you look at in the opening artwork in here. So I'm hoping for a good story in this one. And yeah, it's Supergirl issue number 1. All right. Next is Justice League issue number 4. Very uneventful series for me right now. The only reason why I'm reading it, it's because it is the Justice League, and I'm hopeful that this book really shows promise. I'm not really into the whole, this whole apocalyptic world type of thing that's been going on with these 4 entities, and it just seems like there's a shell of the Justice League. It feels like they're just there. There's no emotion. There's no teamwork in here. The only emotion we saw in the past issue was Superman, but it's a story that we've already seen before. How Lois is, saying, do you really want to be part of the Justice League and whatnot? So how does this story continue? What's the real threat here? We don't know the real enemy. Should I care about this enemy? So we'll see where this one goes. Justice League issue number 4. Right now, it's no comparison to Jeff Johns' Justice League when he started it. All right. So next we have probably a lot of people's favorites right now. This is my favorite DC title from Rebirth, and that's Batman issue number 6. I love the creativity of it. I love the new characters that were introduced to us. We didn't get thrown with this new DC Rebirth Batman. We haven't been thrown the same old characters that we've seen before. We've been introduced to new characters, and in this issue it seems like it's going to revolve around Gotham Girl. That's what we were promised at the end of it. And as the book opens up in this first page, we can see that it is centered around Gotham Girl. And I'm really interested to see where this story goes, learning a little bit more about her. Looks like she shaves her head here. So really interesting. I cannot wait to read this. In fact, I think I'm going to review this one as soon as possible. So this is Batman issue number 6. All right. Next, we have Superman issue number 6. As I'm hopeful that this concludes the whole Eradicator story, as the DC Rebirth titles tend to drag on with their first story arcs a little bit. So I'm anxious to see how Superman truly defeats Eradicator Superman here, and where the characters go from here. I love how a lot of the Superman books have been throwing back to the 90s, going back to Doomsday, going back to Eradicator. And yeah, and I like the artwork in the book. I think it's fun. There's a lot of action in it. Not as strong as it was in the first couple issues, but I like seeing Lois in that whole, what was it, the Hellbat costume or whatnot. So that was really neat. So this is Superman issue number 6. All right, next we have a series that has been really surprising me, and that's Aquaman. This is issue number 6. Mera freed him from the government. Him and Mera are kind of at disagreements, but they're battling against the government, and then Superman shows up at the end of the last issue. Is it going to be for peace? Are they going to fight each other? Are they going to agree? They're going to disagree? I don't know. We'll see. But this is Aquaman issue number 6. Very under the radar series, I think. This is a really well told story, one of the best Aquaman titles that I've ever read personally. Alright, so next we go into the independent books. So now we go into The Walking Dead issue number 158. If you collect 157 and 158, they connect. So when you get all the parts to the story, it's going to make one connecting cover. So I wound up getting this cover. Whisper of War Part 2, as we get to see Negan join Rick. He is now part of their group. Even though it's a very minuscule, actually sized role, he is part of the group, and he's slowly earning Rick's trust back. So it'll be interesting to see, as this war goes, how everyone will defeat, how they will defeat these Whisperers, if they defeat the Whisperers, if there will be some deaths, and how Negan interacts with the other characters here. So this is The Walking Dead, issue number 158. All right. Next is a book that I love the first issue. It was a very different type of book, and this was Kill or Be Killed. And this is issue number 2. The last issue was really well done, as we get to see this guy who's just killing people. He winds up hating life. He winds up loving this girl, and he felt like that she didn't care for him, so he decided to commit suicide, and he changed his mind at the end, and he wound up living, and all of a sudden this dark entity comes and tells him, you have to kill so many souls in order to keep your life. And he's kind of like, what? I have to do this? And he's never killed anybody in his life. He's just an innocent guy. And so now in this issue, we'll get to see if he actually kills somebody, how the story continues to progress. Really awesome book here by Ed Brubaker. I can't wait to read this second issue. I think it was my #1 pick last time around. So Killed or Be Killed, issue #2. All right, next we have Paper Girls, issue #9. Yeah, Paper Girls, this is a throwback to the 80s, book that always kind of goes backwards in time, or I'm sorry, went into time in today's time. Very nostalgic, like I said, kind of like Stranger Things, but in comic book form. It's a story that you really have to read to understand what's going on, as it tends to get more stranger and stranger. But the kids in here are really awesome. They get to see their future selves, what happens to themselves in the future, and some things are scary, some things are okay. It's just a really good book. Paper Girls, issue #9. Can't wait to read it. All right, next I picked up this book on a whim, and this is another Image book in issue #1. It's a horror story. It's called Glitter Bomb, issue #1, and it's about this actress who's actually going on her next, like, trying to get her next big big role, and she finds out that youth prevails over people that are middle aged. Jesus Christ. Excuse me. And so it's just really interesting what happens here. And I don't know. It's got some weird water creatures. I don't know what's going on in here, but it looks interesting. I'll probably do a review on it, see where it goes. So that's Glitter Bomb, issue #1, with the stumbling Mike Spider Slayer here. All right, so here's a little theme now for this Spider Slayers haul. Okay, we all know that in comics, sex sells, right? For years and years, comics were always exploiting women, even beefcake men and stuff like that. So I have some pretty sexy covers here that I wound up picking up, but I'll tell you why. Okay, so first things first, we got Grim Tales of Terror, right? Sexy cover. The main character is Death. They draw her in a very provocative way, and she's taking a selfie of herself. Now, I always read this issue. That's how the covers come on this book. And this series is pretty good. Tales of Terror tells you some crazy story. It's horrific. I like it, But, again, they try to use the sexy woman cover to sell it, right? Okay, fine. We got that. We've been getting that for years, right? Okay, so next, I've got a couple of issues of Sensational She-Hulk. She-Hulk has been in a coma. She just woke up. She's been kind of dead. And I love Jennifer Walters. I love for what she stood for in the 80s and the early 90s. And she was kind of that character that broke the fourth wall for Marvel. And that was before Deadpool, and I think it was before Harley Quinn. And I love She-Hulk books. I have a few of them, but my comic book store wound up getting a whole bunch of them. So I'm probably going to collect a few of them here and there each and every week. But again, She-Hulk drawn very sexy, right? But the cover is funny. She's wearing these high stockings and she's getting married to Mole Man, and she sits there and says, "What a revolting development this is," So it's like, oh, cool. I had to pick this one up. I'll pick up more of these. And so the next thing I wound up getting was, okay, so books back then, sex sells, right? So we go to the Sensational She-Hulk right here, and this is the famous bikini cover here, and it says, "It's not fair to excuse me of vanity. I just thrive on controversy." So again, for the 80s or early 90s, very controversial book. Sex sells, exploiting Jennifer Walters, but she's breaking that fourth wall, and obviously they're doing it to sell copies. That's what you think that they're saying. So the next issue I wound up getting was issue #35, and she kind of pokes fun of it, and she goes, "Hey, wouldn't this cover have worked better than the last issue?" So I thought that was pretty neat. And then we go to issue #43. And it's another one of those types of issues, sexy cover. And Jennifer Walters she's a bombshell, she's great personality, great looking character. And it says, okay, I'll admit this cover has nothing to do with the story this month, but I've got something to do, is to sell this book. So it's really cool how they're kind of poking fun. They know that that's what they're doing here. Okay, so this last book that I wound up getting is a DC Rebirth book, and it goes to Cyborg issue #1. Okay, look at this cover. All right, see what you can point out here. What is this? What is this, guys? Yes, I get it's supposed to be his finger here, But if you look at this closely, what is this? Did DC not pick up on this? This kind of looks like a mechanical dildo, right? I mean, come on. It's plain as day, right? Look at this thing. Cyborg, are you desperate these days? Is this how you pleasure women? I mean, are we trying to be sexy here? Sex sells, controversial? I don't know. Am I the only one that picks this out? Am I setting the controversial statement right here? You know, is DC going to have to pull this cover off the shelves because it's not appropriate for kids because this looks like a sexual thing? I'm not sure. But I wound up getting, you know, this book, honestly, not for the story, but for the cover because it does look like a mechanical dildo here. So, I don't know. You guys tell me here what you thought. Did you point it out? I don't know. Cyborg, is he sexually frustrated? I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah. Tell me what you guys think. So, there you guys have it. There was the little theme for the week. Hopefully it wasn't too stupid, but I just wanted to have some fun there. But guys, now it's your turn. In the comments below, tell me what books you picked up for this week, which books that you're not so excited for. And guys, hopefully you enjoy your comic week. And this has been Spider Slayers Hall, episode number 24. And I'll see you guys on the next comic book review. Take care, fans. Bye.